Picture this. You're sitting at your desk, staring at a mountain of unfinished tasks. Your mind races with worries about deadlines, relationships, and the future. You feel overwhelmed, like you're drowning in a sea of emotions you can't control. Sound familiar? We've all been there, moments when life feels heavy and our emotions seem to take the wheel. But what if I told you there's a way to navigate these storms with calm and clarity? A way to not just survive but thrive, no matter what life throws at you. That's where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about understanding what you can control, accepting what you can't, and building the emotional strength to face life's challenges head-on. Imagine having a toolkit of timeless wisdom, one that's been tested and refined over thousands of years to help you stay grounded, focused, and resilient. That's exactly what the 25 Stoic lessons we're about to explore offer. These lessons aren't just philosophical ideas, they're practical tools you can use every day to transform how you handle stress, setbacks, and uncertainty. Whether you're dealing with a tough day at work, a personal loss, or the weight of the world on your shoulders, Stoicism provides a roadmap to emotional resilience. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with actionable insights that can help you not only manage your emotions, but also find meaning and strength in the face of adversity. So, if you're ready to take control of your emotional well-being and build a life of calm and purpose, keep watching. These 25 Stoic lessons might just change the way you see the world and yourself. Let's dive in. Now, let's turn our attention to the first Stoic lesson, one that serves as the foundation for everything that follows, focusing on what you can control. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to clearly distinguish between what is within our power and what lies beyond it. Think of it like this: your thoughts, your actions, and your reactions are entirely yours to command. They're your domain, your responsibility, but external events, the weather, other people's opinions, or unexpected setbacks, those are outside your control. This simple yet profound idea has the power to transform how you approach life. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you free yourself from unnecessary stress and anxiety. Imagine you're stuck in traffic. You can't magically clear the road ahead, but you can choose how you respond. You can let frustration take over, or you can use that time to listen to a podcast, reflect on your day, or simply breathe and reset. The choice is yours. This mindset doesn't just reduce anxiety, it builds emotional strength. By focusing on what you can control, you shift your energy toward actions that truly matter. For instance, if you're worried about an upcoming presentation, you can't control how your audience will react, but you can prepare thoroughly, practice your delivery, and approach the situation with confidence. This focus on actionable steps empowers you, giving you a sense of agency even in uncertain situations. The Stoics believed that this principle is the key to inner peace. When you stop fighting against the tides of life and instead focus on steering your own ship, you become more resilient, more grounded, and more capable of handling whatever comes your way. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, ask yourself, what's within my control, and then take action. That's where your power lies. As we move forward, we'll explore how to put this principle into practice with actionable steps that can help you integrate this Stoic wisdom into your daily life. But for now, remember this: the more you focus on what you can control, the stronger and more resilient you'll become. Let's keep building on this foundation as we dive deeper into the next lesson. Now that we've explored the core idea of focusing on what you can control, let's take this lesson a step further and look at how you can apply it in your daily life. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its practicality. It's not just a philosophy to ponder, but a tool set to live by. So, how can you start putting this principle into action? One powerful way is through journaling. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on the challenges you faced. Write them down and then categorize them into two columns: things you can control and things you can't. For example, if you had a disagreement with a colleague, you can't control their reaction or emotions, but you can control how you communicate, how you listen, and how you choose to respond. This simple exercise helps you shift your focus from frustration to empowerment. Another practical step is to create a controlled checklist for situations that tend to stress you out. Let's say you're preparing for a big meeting. Instead of worrying about how others will perceive you, focus on what's within your control: your preparation, your mindset, and your ability to stay calm under pressure. By breaking down the situation into actionable steps, you reduce anxiety and gain clarity. You can also practice this principle in smaller, everyday moments. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic again, remind yourself that you can't control the cars around you, but you can control how you use that time. Maybe you listen to an audiobook, call a friend, or simply take a moment to breathe and center yourself. These small shifts in perspective add up over time, building your emotional resilience. Finally, make it a habit to pause and ask yourself one key question when faced with a challenge. What can I do about this right now? This simple question forces you to focus on actionable steps rather than dwelling on what's out of your hands. Over time, this mindset becomes second nature, helping you navigate life's uncertainties with greater ease and confidence. By incorporating these practices into your routine, you'll start to see how focusing on what you can control transforms not just your mindset but your entire approach to life. It's a skill that grows stronger with practice, and the more you use it, the more resilient you'll become. Next, we'll explore another foundational Stoic lesson: accepting what you cannot change. This principle builds on what we've just discussed, offering even more tools to strengthen your emotional resilience. Let's keep moving forward. Now that we've seen how focusing on what we can control empowers us, let's take a closer look at the next Stoic lesson: accepting what we cannot change. This principle, known as amor fati, or the love of fate, is about embracing life's challenges and uncertainties rather than resisting them. It's a mindset that teaches us to see every event, even the difficult ones, as an opportunity for growth and strength. The Stoics believed that life is full of things beyond our control: loss, failure, illness, even the actions of others. Instead of fighting against these realities, they encouraged us to accept them with grace and use them as fuel for personal development. Amor fati isn't about passive resignation. It's about actively choosing to find meaning and purpose in whatever life throws our way. One of the most powerful examples of this comes from the life of Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was born into slavery. Despite facing immense hardship, Epictetus didn't let his circumstances define him. Instead, he focused on what he could control: his thoughts, his actions, and his attitude. He famously said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." His teachings remind us that even in the face of adversity, we have the power to choose our response. Another inspiring figure is Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor who ruled during times of war and plague. In his personal writings, he often reflected on the inevitability of hardship and the importance of accepting it. He wrote, "Accept whatever comes to you woven in the pattern of your destiny, for what could more aptly fit your needs." These words highlight the Stoic belief that every challenge is part of a larger tapestry, shaping us into stronger, wiser individuals. So, how can we apply this principle in our own lives? Start by reframing setbacks as opportunities. When something goes wrong, instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" try asking, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective helps you see challenges as stepping stones rather than obstacles. Another way to practice amor fati is to cultivate gratitude for the present moment, even when it's difficult. When you find yourself in a tough situation, take a moment to acknowledge what you're experiencing without judgment. Remind yourself that this, too, is part of your journey, and it's shaping you in ways you may not yet understand. By embracing the idea of amor fati, you'll find that life's hardships become less overwhelming. Instead of draining your energy, they become opportunities to build resilience and deepen your understanding of yourself and the world around you. Next, we'll explore how this principle plays out in modern-day scenarios, offering practical ways to apply acceptance in your daily life. Let's continue this journey toward emotional strength together. Now that we've explored the philosophy behind amor fati, let's bring this Stoic principle to life by looking at how it applies to modern-day challenges. Acceptance isn't just an ancient idea, it's a tool we can use right now to navigate the complexities of our lives with greater emotional strength. Consider the experience of losing a job. For many, this can feel like a devastating blow, shaking their sense of security and self-worth. But what if, instead of resisting the situation, you chose to accept it as an opportunity for growth? This doesn't mean ignoring the difficulty of the moment, but rather acknowledging it and asking, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to build a better future? By shifting your perspective, you might discover new skills, explore different career paths, or even find a deeper sense of purpose. Health challenges are another area where acceptance can be transformative. Imagine facing a chronic illness or a sudden diagnosis. It's natural to feel fear, frustration, or even anger. But by practicing amor fati, you can begin to see your health journey as a teacher rather than an enemy. Instead of asking, "Why me?" you might ask, "How can I adapt and grow through this experience?" This mindset doesn't eliminate the struggle, but it can help you find meaning and resilience in the midst of it. Relationships, too, offer opportunities to practice acceptance. Think about a conflict with a loved one or a friendship that has drifted apart. While it's tempting to dwell on what went wrong or try to force a resolution, acceptance allows you to let go of what you can't control and focus on what you can, your own actions and attitudes. By embracing the reality of the situation, you create space for healing, understanding, and even personal growth. Even in smaller, everyday moments, acceptance can make a difference. Traffic jams, missed deadlines, or unexpected setbacks can test our patience. But by choosing to accept these inconveniences rather than fight against them, we save ourselves unnecessary stress and open the door to a calmer, more grounded way of living. The beauty of amor fati is that it doesn't ask us to ignore our emotions or pretend everything is fine. Instead, it invites us to face life's challenges with courage and curiosity, trusting that even the hardest moments have something to teach us. By practicing acceptance in these real-life scenarios, we build emotional strength that helps us not only survive but thrive, no matter what comes our way. Next, we'll dive into another powerful Stoic practice, negative visualization. This exercise helps us prepare for life's uncertainties and strengthens our ability to face them with confidence. Let's keep moving forward on this journey toward emotional resilience. Now, let's turn our attention to a powerful Stoic tool that might seem counterintuitive at first, negative visualization. This practice, known as premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils, is about intentionally imagining the worst-case scenarios in life. At first glance, this might sound pessimistic, but in reality, it's a profound way to build emotional resilience and reduce fear. The idea is simple yet transformative. By envisioning potential challenges or losses, we prepare our minds to face them with clarity and calm. Think of it as a mental rehearsal for life's uncertainties. For example, imagine losing something you value deeply, a job, a relationship, or even your health. Instead of avoiding these thoughts, Stoicism encourages us to sit with them, to explore how we might respond if they were to happen. This isn't about dwelling on negativity, it's about building strength and perspective. When we practice negative visualization, we often discover that our fears are worse in our imagination than they would be in reality. By confronting these fears head-on, we strip them of their power. we realize that even in the worst-case scenario, we have the capacity to adapt, to endure, and to find meaning. This exercise helps us appreciate what we have in the present moment, fostering gratitude and reducing anxiety about the future. Let's take a practical example. Imagine you're preparing for an important presentation at work. Instead of just focusing on the positive outcome, take a moment to consider what might go wrong. What if you forget your lines? What if the technology fails? By visualizing these possibilities, you can prepare solutions in advance. You might rehearse your speech more thoroughly or have a backup plan for technical issues. This preparation not only reduces anxiety but also boosts your confidence, knowing you're ready for whatever comes your way. Negative visualization also helps us detach from external outcomes. When we accept that things might not go as planned, we free ourselves from the pressure of perfection. This mindset allows us to approach challenges with a sense of calm and flexibility, rather than fear and rigidity. The beauty of this practice lies in its ability to ground us in reality. Life is unpredictable, and no amount of planning can shield us from every hardship. But by regularly practicing negative visualization, we train our minds to face adversity with courage and resilience. We learn to see challenges not as threats, but as opportunities to grow and adapt. As we continue this journey, we'll explore how to apply negative visualization in a guided exercise, helping you integrate this powerful tool into your daily life. For now, take a moment to reflect. What's one fear or uncertainty you've been avoiding? How might imagining the worst-case scenario help you prepare and find peace? Let's keep building emotional strength, one Stoic lesson at a time. Now that we've explored the concept of negative visualization, let's put it into practice with a guided exercise. This step-by-step approach will help you integrate this powerful Stoic tool into your daily life, allowing you to build emotional resilience and face challenges with greater clarity. To begin, find a quiet space where you can sit comfortably without distractions. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, allowing your mind to settle. Once you feel calm and focused, bring to mind a situation or challenge that's been weighing on you. It could be something at work, in your relationships, or even a personal goal you're striving toward. Now, imagine the worst-case scenario related to this situation. Picture it in vivid detail. What would happen if things didn't go as planned? How would you feel? What would the consequences be? Don't shy away from the discomfort. This is where the growth happens. Next, ask yourself, how would I respond if this scenario actually occurred? Think about the steps you could take to address the situation. Would you seek support from others? Could you adapt your approach or find a new solution? By exploring these possibilities, you're preparing yourself to handle adversity with confidence and resourcefulness. As you reflect, notice any emotions that arise: fear, frustration, or even sadness. Acknowledge these feelings without judgment. Remind yourself that it's okay to feel this way, but also recognize that you have the strength to move forward. Now, shift your focus to gratitude. Even in this imagined worst-case scenario, what do you still have to be thankful for? Perhaps it's your health, your relationships, or your ability to learn and grow. By anchoring yourself in gratitude, you cultivate a sense of perspective and resilience. Finally, take a moment to consider what this exercise has taught you. How has imagining the worst-case scenario changed your perspective on the situation? Do you feel more prepared to face challenges? Use these insights to guide your actions moving forward. Remember, the goal of negative visualization isn't to dwell on fear, but to build emotional strength and clarity. By practicing this exercise regularly, you'll train your mind to face life's uncertainties with courage and adaptability. As we move forward, we'll explore another Stoic lesson that complements this practice: cultivating gratitude. Together, these tools will help you build a foundation of emotional resilience, one step at a time. For now, take a moment to reflect on your experience with this exercise. What did you discover about yourself? How can you apply these insights to your daily life? Let's continue this journey toward emotional strength together. Now that we've explored how negative visualization prepares us for life's uncertainties, let's turn our attention to a practice that complements it beautifully: cultivating gratitude. Gratitude in the Stoic tradition is about shifting our focus from what we lack to what we already have. It's a powerful tool for transforming our perspective and building emotional resilience. The Stoics believed that true contentment doesn't come from external possessions or achievements, but from appreciating the present moment and the gifts it holds. When we practice gratitude, we train our minds to see abundance rather than scarcity. This shift in focus not only reduces feelings of envy or dissatisfaction, but also strengthens our emotional well-being. Think about it. How often do we get caught up in chasing the next big thing, whether it's a promotion, a new relationship, or a material possession? While these goals can be meaningful, they often distract us from the simple joys and blessings already present in our lives. Gratitude helps us pause and recognize the value of what we already have, whether it's our health, our relationships, or even the small moments of peace in a busy day. One of the most profound effects of gratitude is its ability to reframe challenges. When we're faced with difficulties, it's easy to feel overwhelmed or defeated. But by focusing on what we're grateful for, even in the midst of hardship, we can find strength and perspective. For example, if you're dealing with a tough day at work, you might remind yourself of the support you have from loved ones or the skills you've developed to handle tough situations. This doesn't erase the challenge, but it gives you a foundation of positivity to build upon. The Stoics also saw gratitude as a way to connect with the larger flow of life. By appreciating what we have, we acknowledge the interconnectedness of all things and the role others play in our well-being. This sense of connection fosters humility and compassion, further enriching our emotional resilience. As we move forward, we'll explore practical ways to incorporate gratitude into your daily life, from keeping a gratitude journal to reflecting on small moments of joy. These practices will help you build a habit of gratitude, making it a natural part of your mindset. For now, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for today. It could be something as simple as a warm cup of coffee, a kind word from a friend, or the opportunity to learn and grow. By starting small, you'll begin to see how gratitude can transform not just your perspective but your emotional strength as well. Next, we'll dive into actionable steps to make gratitude a consistent part of your routine, so you can continue building the emotional resilience that Stoicism teaches. Let's keep moving forward on this journey together. Now that we've explored the transformative power of gratitude, let's dive into some practical ways to make it a consistent part of your daily life. One of the simplest and most effective methods is keeping a gratitude journal. Each day, take a few minutes to write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be grand or life-changing sometimes. It's the small, everyday moments that hold the most meaning. Maybe it's the warmth of sunlight on your face, a kind gesture from a stranger, or even the comfort of your favorite blanket. By documenting these moments, you train your mind to actively seek out and appreciate the good in your life. Another powerful practice is the habit of reflecting on small joys throughout your day. This doesn't require any special tools or time, just a moment of mindfulness. For example, when you're sipping your morning coffee, pause and truly savor the experience. Notice the aroma, the warmth, and the quiet moment of peace it brings. These small acts of mindfulness help you stay present and cultivate gratitude in real time, rather than waiting for a specific moment to reflect. You can also incorporate gratitude into your interactions with others. Make it a habit to express appreciation to the people in your life, whether it's a heartfelt thank you to a colleague or a simple compliment to a friend. Not only does this strengthen your relationships, but it also reinforces your own sense of gratitude by reminding you of the positive impact others have on your life. For those who enjoy a more structured approach, try setting a daily gratitude reminder. This could be an alarm on your phone or a note on your mirror that prompts you to pause and think of one thing you're grateful for. Over time, this small habit can shift your mindset, helping you notice and appreciate the abundance around you even during challenging times. Finally, consider pairing gratitude with reflection. At the end of each week, take a few moments to review your gratitude journal or simply reflect on the moments that brought you joy. This practice not only reinforces the habit, but also helps you see patterns in what truly matters to you, guiding you toward a more intentional and fulfilling life. By integrating these practices into your routine, you'll find that gratitude becomes less of an exercise and more of a natural way of being. It's a small shift with profound effects, helping you build emotional resilience and a deeper appreciation for life's blessings. Next, we'll explore how embracing impermanence can further strengthen your emotional foundation, so stay with us as we continue this journey. Now, let's turn our attention to a profound Stoic principle that can reshape how we view life itself, embracing impermanence. At the heart of this lesson is the concept of memento mori, a Latin phrase meaning remember that you must die. While this might sound somber at first, it's actually a powerful tool for cultivating emotional strength and clarity. The Stoics believed that by acknowledging the fleeting nature of life, we can better appreciate the present moment and focus on what truly matters. Think about it, when we're reminded that our time is limited, it becomes easier to let go of trivial worries and distractions. Suddenly, the small annoyances that once consumed us lose their grip. Instead, we're drawn to what's meaningful, our relationships, our passions, and the legacy we wish to leave behind. This isn't about living in fear of death, but rather using the awareness of life's impermanence as a motivator to live more intentionally. For example, imagine you're caught up in a heated argument with a loved one. In the heat of the moment, it feels like the most important thing in the world. But if you pause and remind yourself of memento mori, you might realize how insignificant the disagreement is in the grand scheme of things. This shift in perspective can help you approach the situation with more patience, compassion, and a focus on resolving the issue rather than winning the argument. The Stoics also used this concept to prioritize their actions. They understood that time is our most precious resource, and wasting it on things that don't align with our values is a disservice to ourselves. By embracing impermanence, we're encouraged to ask ourselves, is this how I want to spend my limited time? Does this align with what truly matters to me? These questions can guide us toward more purposeful decisions, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or personal growth. To bring this lesson into your own life, try this simple exercise. Each morning, take a moment to reflect on the impermanence of life. You might say to yourself, today is a gift and I will use it wisely. This small act of mindfulness can help you approach the day with greater focus and gratitude, ensuring that your actions align with your deepest values. By embracing impermanence, we not only strengthen our emotional resilience but also find a deeper sense of fulfillment. It's a reminder to live fully, love deeply, and let go of what doesn't serve us. And as we move forward, we'll explore how this mindset can inspire us to live with even greater purpose and intention. Stay with us as we continue this journey into the heart of Stoic wisdom. Now, let's take this idea of impermanence a step further and explore how it can inspire us to live with purpose. When we truly internalize the fact that our time is limited, it becomes a catalyst for meaningful action. The Stoics believed that understanding the temporary nature of life isn't meant to make us fearful or anxious, it's meant to free us. By recognizing that every moment is fleeting, we're encouraged to focus on what truly matters and let go of the things that don't. Think about how often we get caught up in trivial matters, whether it's obsessing over minor inconveniences, chasing fleeting pleasures, or worrying about things outside our control. These distractions can consume our energy and pull us away from what's truly important. But when we embrace impermanence, we gain a new perspective. we start to ask ourselves, is this how I want to spend my time? Does this align with my values and goals? These questions help us prioritize actions that bring meaning and fulfillment, rather than getting stuck in cycles of stress or regret. For instance, consider someone who spends hours scrolling through social media, comparing their life to others. It's easy to fall into this trap, but when they pause and reflect on the impermanence of life, they might realize how much time they're wasting on something that doesn't contribute to their growth or happiness. This awareness can inspire them to redirect their energy toward activities that truly matter, whether it's spending quality time with loved ones, pursuing a passion, or working toward a meaningful goal. Living with purpose also means reducing our emotional attachment to trivial matters. The Stoics taught that many of the things we worry about, like what others think of us or minor setbacks, are ultimately insignificant in the grand scheme of life. By embracing impermanence, we learn to let go of these attachments and focus on what we can control: our actions, our attitudes, and our choices. This shift not only reduces stress but also empowers us to live more authentically and intentionally. To put this into practice, try setting aside a few minutes each day to reflect on your priorities. Ask yourself, what would I do today if I knew my time was limited? How can I make the most of this moment? These reflections can help you align your daily actions with your deeper values, ensuring that you're living with purpose rather than drifting through life on autopilot. By embracing impermanence and living with purpose, we not only strengthen our emotional resilience but also create a life filled with meaning and fulfillment. It's a powerful reminder to focus on what truly matters and let go of the rest. And as we continue, we'll explore how this mindset can help us build even greater emotional strength through the next Stoic lesson. Stay with us as we dive deeper into the wisdom of Stoicism. Now, let's shift our focus to another cornerstone of Stoic philosophy: self-discipline. The Stoics believed that self-control and discipline are not just virtues but essential tools for mastering our emotions and living a life of purpose. At its core, self-discipline is about aligning our actions with our values, even when it's difficult or uncomfortable. It's the ability to resist short-term temptations in favor of long-term growth and fulfillment. Take Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers and a Roman emperor. Despite his immense power and responsibilities, he consistently practiced self-discipline, often reminding himself in his writings to stay grounded and focused on what truly mattered. He understood that true strength comes from mastering oneself, not from external achievements or status. His daily practice of journaling and reflection was a testament to his commitment to self-discipline, helping him navigate the challenges of leadership with clarity and integrity. Similarly, Epictetus, a former slave-turned-philosopher, emphasized the importance of self-control in achieving emotional freedom. He taught that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. This requires discipline, choosing to act with reason and virtue rather than being swept away by emotions or external pressures. For Epictetus, self-discipline was the key to inner peace, allowing us to remain steady in the face of life's ups and downs. But how does self-discipline translate to emotional strength? When we practice self-control, we're better equipped to manage our reactions to stress, setbacks, and challenges. Instead of being ruled by impulsive emotions, we can pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with our values. This not only reduces emotional turmoil, but also builds resilience over time. For example, imagine someone who feels the urge to lash out in anger during a heated argument. By exercising self-discipline, they can take a moment to breathe, assess the situation, and respond calmly, preserving their relationships and emotional well-being. The Stoics also believed that self-discipline extends to our habits and daily routines. Small, consistent actions like waking up early, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or dedicating time to self-improvement compound over time to create significant change. These habits reinforce our ability to stay focused on what truly matters, even when distractions or temptations arise. To cultivate self-discipline, start by identifying areas of your life where you feel out of alignment with your values. Are there habits or behaviors that undermine your goals or emotional well-being? Once you've identified these, set small, achievable goals to address them. For instance, if you struggle with procrastination, commit to working on a task for just 10 minutes without distractions. Over time, these small acts of discipline will strengthen your ability to stay focused and resilient. By developing self-discipline, we not only gain control over our actions but also our emotions. It's a powerful tool for building emotional strength and living a life of purpose, just as the Stoics taught. And as we move forward, we'll explore how this foundation of self-discipline can help us tackle even greater challenges in our journey toward emotional resilience. Stay with us as we continue to uncover the timeless wisdom of Stoicism. Now that we've explored the importance of self-discipline in Stoic philosophy, let's dive into practical ways to build this essential skill. Developing self-discipline isn't about making drastic changes overnight. Instead, it's about creating small, consistent habits that gradually strengthen your ability to stay focused and aligned with your values. One of the most effective strategies is to start with small, achievable goals. These goals act as stepping stones, helping you build momentum without feeling overwhelmed. For example, if you want to improve your focus, commit to working on a task for just 10 minutes without distractions. Over time, these small wins will add up, reinforcing your self-discipline and making it easier to tackle bigger challenges. Another powerful tool is practicing delayed gratification. This means resisting the urge for immediate rewards in favor of long-term benefits. The Stoics understood that true fulfillment comes from enduring short-term discomfort for greater gains. Think of it like planting a seed. You might not see results right away, but with patience and care, it will grow into something meaningful. To practice this, try delaying small pleasures like checking your phone or indulging in a treat, and instead focus on a task that aligns with your goals. This not only strengthens your self-control, but also trains your mind to prioritize what truly matters. Creating a structured routine can also support your journey toward self-discipline. The Stoics valued consistency, and a well-planned daily schedule can help you stay on track. Start by identifying key areas where you want to improve, whether it's managing your time, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, or dedicating time to self-reflection. Then design a routine that incorporates these priorities. For instance, set aside a specific time each day for journaling or meditation, as Marcus Aurelius did. These habits create a sense of order and purpose, making it easier to resist distractions and stay focused on your long-term vision. Accountability is another crucial element. Share your goals with a trusted friend or mentor who can encourage and support you along the way. The Stoics often emphasized the importance of community and learning from others, and having someone to hold you accountable can make a significant difference. Additionally, tracking your progress, whether through a journal, app, or checklist, can help you stay motivated and recognize how far you've come. Finally, remember to be patient with yourself. Building self-discipline is a gradual process, and setbacks are a natural part of the journey. Instead of being discouraged by mistakes, view them as opportunities to learn and grow. The Stoics believed that every challenge is a chance to practice virtue, and each small step you take toward self-discipline strengthens your emotional resilience. As we continue, we'll explore how these habits of self-discipline can help us navigate even greater challenges, equipping us with the tools to live a life of purpose and emotional strength. Stay with us as we uncover more timeless Stoic wisdom. Now that we've explored the power of self-discipline, let's shift our focus to another transformative Stoic lesson, detaching from external validation. In a world where likes, comments, and approval often dictate our sense of worth, Stoicism offers a refreshing perspective. The Stoics believed that true self-worth comes from within, not from the opinions or judgments of others. This principle is about recognizing that your value isn't determined by external praise or criticism, but by your own actions, character, and alignment with your values. Think about it. How often do we seek validation from others, whether it's through social media, workplace recognition, or even the approval of friends and family? This constant need for external affirmation can leave us emotionally vulnerable. When we rely too heavily on others' opinions, we give away our power, allowing their words or actions to dictate our happiness and self-esteem. The Stoics, however, taught that this dependency is unnecessary and even harmful. By anchoring our self-worth in our own principles and efforts, we free ourselves from the emotional roller coaster of seeking approval. One of the most profound ways to practice this is by focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, actions, and reactions. When you stop measuring your worth by external standards, you begin to cultivate a deeper sense of inner peace. For example, instead of worrying about whether others approve of your choices, ask yourself, am I acting with integrity? Am I staying true to my values? These questions shift the focus inward, helping you build a stronger, more resilient sense of self. Detaching from external validation also means embracing the idea that not everyone will understand or agree with your path, and that's okay. The Stoics understood that people's opinions are often shaped by their own biases, experiences, and limitations. What matters most is how you choose to live your life. By letting go of the need for universal approval, you create space for authenticity and self-acceptance. This doesn't mean ignoring constructive feedback or isolating yourself from others. Rather, it's about discerning which opinions are worth considering and which are better left unheeded. To put this into practice, start by reflecting on moments when you've sought validation. Ask yourself, why did I need that approval? What was I hoping it would give me? Over time, you'll begin to notice patterns and gain clarity on where your emotional dependency lies. From there, you can take small steps to shift your focus inward. Celebrate your achievements not because others recognize them, but because they reflect your growth and effort. Remind yourself daily that your worth is inherent and doesn't require external validation to exist. As we move forward, we'll explore how this detachment from external validation can help us overcome another common challenge, the habit of people-pleasing. By building a strong internal foundation, we can navigate relationships and social dynamics with greater confidence and emotional resilience. Stay with us as we uncover more Stoic wisdom to strengthen your inner self. Now that we've explored the importance of detaching from external validation, let's dive deeper into how we can overcome the habit of people-pleasing. This tendency, often rooted in the desire for approval, can drain our emotional energy and pull us away from our true selves. The Stoics remind us that living authentically means prioritizing our own values over the expectations of others. So, how can we break free from this cycle? Let's look at some practical strategies. First, setting clear boundaries is essential. People-pleasing often stems from a fear of rejection or conflict, leading us to say yes when we really mean no. Start by identifying situations where you feel pressured to conform or overextend yourself. Then, practice saying no in small, manageable ways. For example, if a friend asks for a favor that conflicts with your priorities, politely decline. Over time, this practice will help you reclaim your time and energy, reinforcing the idea that your needs matter just as much as anyone else's. Another powerful strategy is to focus on your personal values. The Stoics believed that living in alignment with one's principles is the key to a fulfilling life. Take a moment to reflect on what truly matters to you: integrity, kindness, growth, or something else entirely. When faced with a decision, ask yourself, does this align with my values? If the answer is no, it's a sign to step back. By making choices based on your core beliefs rather than external expectations, you'll feel more grounded and confident. It's also helpful to reframe how you view approval. Instead of seeing it as a necessity, consider it a bonus. Not everyone will agree with your choices, and that's okay. The Stoics taught that others' opinions are beyond your control, but your response to them is not. When you catch yourself seeking validation, pause and remind yourself that your worth isn't tied to others' approval. This shift in mindset can be liberating, helping you focus on what truly matters: your own growth and well-being. Finally, practice self-compassion. Breaking the habit of people-pleasing isn't easy, and it's natural to slip up along the way. When you do, treat yourself with kindness rather than criticism. Acknowledge your progress, no matter how small, and remind yourself that every step toward authenticity is a victory. Over time, these small steps will add up, helping you build a stronger, more resilient sense of self. As we continue, we'll explore how these principles tie into the next Stoic lesson: practicing mindfulness. By staying present and grounded, we can further strengthen our emotional resilience and live more authentically. Stay with us as we uncover more tools to help you thrive. Now that we've discussed the importance of breaking free from people-pleasing, let's shift our focus to a practice that can help us stay grounded and centered: mindfulness. Mindfulness, at its core, is about being fully present in the moment, aware of our thoughts, feelings, and surroundings without judgment. Interestingly, this concept aligns beautifully with Stoic philosophy, which teaches us to focus on the here and now rather than getting lost in worries about the past or future. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from dwelling on things outside our control or ruminating on what's already happened. By practicing mindfulness, we can train our minds to stay anchored in the present, where we have the power to act and make choices. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about observing our experiences with clarity and calmness, allowing us to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. One way Stoicism and mindfulness intersect is through the practice of self-awareness. The Stoics encouraged regular reflection on our thoughts and actions, a habit that mirrors the mindful practice of observing our inner world without attachment. For example, when a difficult emotion arises, instead of immediately reacting, we can pause and ask ourselves, what is this feeling trying to tell me? Is it based on something within my control? This simple act of questioning creates space between stimulus and response, giving us the opportunity to choose how we want to proceed. Another key aspect of mindfulness is acceptance, acknowledging reality as it is rather than resisting or denying it. This echoes the Stoic principle of amor fati, or loving one's fate. When we practice mindfulness, we learn to accept the present moment, even if it's uncomfortable or challenging. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means recognizing what's happening so we can take purposeful action. For instance, if you're feeling stressed about a work deadline, mindfulness allows you to acknowledge the stress without letting it overwhelm you, enabling you to focus on the task at hand. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily life doesn't have to be complicated. Start with small, intentional practices, like taking a few deep breaths before a meeting or pausing to fully savor your morning coffee. These moments of presence can help you build a habit of staying grounded throughout the day. Over time, you'll find that mindfulness not only enhances your emotional resilience, but also deepens your connection to the present, where life truly happens. As we move forward, we'll explore specific mindfulness techniques that can help you stay present and engaged, even in the midst of life's chaos. These tools will further strengthen your ability to navigate challenges with clarity and calm, bringing you closer to the Stoic ideal of emotional mastery. Stay with us as we uncover more ways to cultivate a mindful, resilient mindset. Now that we've explored the connection between Stoicism and mindfulness, let's dive into some practical techniques you can use to cultivate this powerful practice in your daily life. Mindfulness doesn't require hours of meditation or a complete lifestyle overhaul. Instead, it's about finding small, intentional moments to bring your attention back to the present. Here are a few simple exercises to get you started. First, let's talk about deep breathing. This is one of the most accessible mindfulness tools, and it's something you can do anywhere, anytime. When you feel overwhelmed or distracted, take a moment to pause and focus on your breath. Inhale slowly through your nose, counting to 4, hold for a count of 4, and then exhale through your mouth for another count of 4. Repeat this cycle 3 to 5 times. This exercise helps calm your nervous system and brings your awareness back to the present moment. It's a quick way to reset your mind and regain focus. Another effective technique is mindful observation. This involves choosing an object in your environment, a plant, a cup of coffee, or even your hands, and observing it with full attention. Notice its color, texture, shape, and any other details you might normally overlook. The goal isn't to analyze or judge, but simply to observe. This practice trains your mind to stay present and appreciate the richness of the moment, even in the most ordinary situations. Body scanning is another powerful mindfulness exercise. Start by sitting or lying down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes and bring your attention to the top of your head. Slowly move your focus down through your body, noticing any sensations, tension, or areas of relaxation. Pay attention to your forehead, your shoulders, your arms, and so on, all the way down to your toes. This practice not only grounds you in the present, but also helps you become more aware of how stress or emotions manifest physically in your body. For those who enjoy movement, walking meditation can be a great way to practice mindfulness. As you walk, focus on the sensation of your feet touching the ground, the rhythm of your steps, and the movement of your body. If your mind starts to wander, gently bring your attention back to the act of walking. This exercise is especially helpful if you find it difficult to sit still for traditional meditation. Finally, consider incorporating a gratitude pause into your day. At any moment, take a few seconds to reflect on something you're grateful for. It could be as simple as the warmth of the sun on your skin or the sound of birds chirping outside. This practice not only anchors you in the present, but also shifts your focus toward positivity, reinforcing the Stoic principle of finding value in what you already have. These mindfulness techniques are designed to be simple yet impactful, helping you build emotional resilience one moment at a time. By integrating them into your routine, you'll find it easier to stay grounded even when life feels chaotic. As we move forward, we'll explore how reframing challenges as opportunities can further strengthen your emotional strength. Stay with us as we uncover more Stoic-inspired strategies to help you thrive. Now that we've explored how mindfulness can ground us in the present, let's shift our focus to another powerful Stoic practice, reframing challenges as opportunities. This lesson is all about changing the way we perceive obstacles, transforming them from roadblocks into stepping stones for growth. The Stoics believed that every difficulty carries within it the seed of an equal or greater benefit if we're willing to look for it. Take the story of Thomas Edison, for example. When his laboratory burned down in a devastating fire, destroying years of work, he didn't see it as a tragedy. Instead, he famously said, "Thank goodness all our mistakes were burned up. Now we can start fresh again." Edison's ability to reframe this disaster as an opportunity for renewal allowed him to rebuild and continue his groundbreaking work. His mindset exemplifies the Stoic principle of finding value in adversity. Another inspiring example is J.K. Rowling, who faced countless rejections before her first Harry Potter book was published. At one point, she was a single mother living on welfare, struggling to make ends meet. Instead of giving up, she used her struggles as fuel to keep writing, eventually creating one of the most beloved book series in history. Rowling's story reminds us that setbacks can be the very thing that propels us toward success, if we choose to see them that way. The Stoic practice of reframing challenges isn't just about staying positive, it's about actively seeking the lessons and opportunities hidden within every difficulty. When we encounter an obstacle, we can ask ourselves, what can I learn from this? How can this situation make me stronger or more resourceful? By shifting our perspective, we turn problems into teachers and hardships into catalysts for growth. This mindset doesn't just apply to major life events, it's equally powerful in everyday situations. Maybe you're stuck in traffic and feeling frustrated. Instead of letting it ruin your day, you could use that time to listen to an inspiring podcast or reflect on your goals. Or perhaps you've received critical feedback at work. Rather than taking it personally, you could view it as a chance to improve and grow in your role. These small shifts in thinking can have a profound impact on your emotional resilience over time. As we continue, we'll explore how to apply this reframing technique in your own life through practical exercises. But for now, remember this: challenges are not the end of the road, they're invitations to grow, adapt, and thrive. Stay with us as we uncover more Stoic strategies to help you turn life's obstacles into opportunities. Now that we've seen how reframing challenges can transform obstacles into opportunities, let's put this into practice. The Stoics believed that the way we interpret events shapes our emotional response, and by consciously shifting our perspective, we can build emotional strength. Here's a simple exercise to help you reframe a current challenge in your life. First, take a moment to identify a situation that's been troubling you. It could be something big, like a career setback, or something smaller, like a disagreement with a friend. Write it down in a sentence or two. For example, I'm feeling overwhelmed by my workload, or I'm frustrated because my plans didn't go as expected. Next, ask yourself, what's the worst-case scenario here? Be honest. If your workload feels overwhelming, maybe the worst outcome is missing a deadline or feeling burnt out. If your plans fell through, perhaps it's the disappointment of not achieving what you hoped for. Acknowledging the worst-case scenario helps you face it head-on, reducing its power over you. Now, here's where the reframing begins. Ask yourself, what's the best possible outcome of this situation? Even in the face of difficulty, there's often a silver lining. Maybe the overwhelming workload is an opportunity to prioritize better or learn new time management skills. Perhaps the cancelled plans give you unexpected free time to rest or pursue a hobby you've been neglecting. Finally, consider the most realistic outcome. Life rarely goes perfectly, but it's also not as dire as our worst fears. Maybe you'll miss a deadline, but you'll also learn how to communicate better with your team. Or perhaps the disagreement with your friend will lead to a deeper conversation and a stronger relationship. By focusing on the realistic middle ground, you can approach the situation with balance and clarity. Take a moment to reflect on these three perspectives: worst case, best case, and realistic. How does this exercise change the way you feel about the challenge? Often, just seeing the situation from multiple angles can reduce anxiety and help you find a constructive way forward. Remember, reframing isn't about ignoring the difficulty or pretending everything is fine. It's about finding the lessons, opportunities, and strengths that lie within the challenge. By practicing this exercise regularly, you'll train your mind to see obstacles not as roadblocks but as stepping stones toward growth. As we move forward, we'll explore another Stoic practice that complements reframing: letting go of anger. But for now, take a moment to apply this exercise to your own life. What challenge can you reframe today? Stay with us as we continue to uncover more tools to help you build emotional strength through Stoicism. Now that we've explored how reframing challenges can help us find opportunities in adversity, let's turn our attention to another powerful Stoic lesson: letting go of anger. Anger, according to the Stoics, is one of the most destructive emotions we can experience. It clouds our judgment, distorts our perspective, and often leads to actions we later regret. But the Stoics didn't just point out the problem, they offered practical tools to help us manage and overcome it. At its core, Stoicism teaches that anger arises from our own judgments and expectations. When things don't go the way we want, or when others act in ways we find frustrating, it's easy to feel anger bubbling up. But the Stoics remind us that we can't control external events or other people's actions, only our own reactions. This shift in perspective is the first step toward mastering anger. One of the most effective Stoic tools for managing anger is the practice of pausing before reacting. When you feel anger rising, take a moment to step back, breathe deeply, and give yourself space to process the situation. This pause allows you to break the automatic cycle of anger and choose a more thoughtful response. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca famously said, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Another key Stoic principle is to examine the root cause of your anger. Ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? Is it because something unfair has happened, or is it because my expectations weren't met? Often, anger stems from unrealistic expectations or a sense of entitlement. By questioning these assumptions, you can begin to see the situation more clearly and respond with greater wisdom. The Stoics also encourage us to practice empathy when dealing with anger. Try to see the situation from the other person's perspective. Maybe they're acting out of ignorance, stress, or their own struggles. Understanding their motives can help soften your anger and replace it with compassion. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they cannot tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own." Finally, the Stoics remind us that anger is often a waste of energy. It doesn't solve problems, it usually makes them worse. Instead of letting anger consume you, channel that energy into constructive action. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. By doing so, you'll not only manage your anger but also build emotional strength and resilience. As we continue, we'll dive deeper into practical strategies for controlling anger in everyday life. But for now, take a moment to reflect. What situations tend to trigger your anger? How can you apply these Stoic principles to respond with greater calm and clarity? Stay with us as we uncover more ways to strengthen your emotional resilience through Stoicism. Now that we've explored the Stoic philosophy behind managing anger, let's shift our focus to actionable strategies you can use in your daily life. These practical tools are designed to help you regain control when anger threatens to take over, allowing you to respond with clarity and composure. One of the simplest yet most effective techniques is the classic method of counting to 10. When you feel anger rising, pause and slowly count to 10 in your mind. This brief moment of delay interrupts the immediate emotional reaction, giving your rational mind a chance to catch up. It's a small step, but it can make a world of difference in how you handle the situation. Another powerful strategy is to write down your feelings before responding. Grab a piece of paper or open a note on your phone and jot down what's upsetting you. The act of writing forces you to articulate your emotions, which can help you process them more clearly. Often, you'll find that putting your anger into words reduces its intensity, making it easier to approach the situation calmly. Stoicism also encourages us to practice perspective taking. When you're angry, ask yourself, will this matter in a week, a month, or a year? Many of the things that trigger our anger are temporary and insignificant in the grand scheme of things. By zooming out and considering the bigger picture, you can often diffuse the emotion before it escalates. Physical activity can also be a valuable tool for managing anger. If you're feeling overwhelmed, take a short walk, do some stretching, or engage in a quick workout. Physical movement helps release pent-up energy and stress, allowing you to return to the situation with a clearer mind. The Stoics believed in the importance of a healthy body as a foundation for a healthy mind, and this is one way to put that principle into practice. Another technique is to practice gratitude in the moment. When anger arises, take a moment to reflect on something you're grateful for. This shift in focus can help counteract the negative emotions and remind you of the good in your life. Gratitude doesn't erase the problem, but it can help you approach it with a more balanced mindset. Finally, remember the Stoic principle of focusing on what you can control. When anger strikes, ask yourself, what part of this situation is within my power to change? By directing your energy toward actionable steps, you can channel your anger into constructive solutions rather than letting it spiral out of control. As we move forward, we'll explore how these strategies can be applied in real-life scenarios, helping you build emotional resilience one step at a time. For now, consider this: which of these techniques resonates most with you? How can you incorporate it into your daily routine to better manage anger and strengthen your emotional well-being? Now that we've explored practical strategies for managing anger, let's turn our attention to a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy: living virtuously. The Stoics believed that true emotional strength comes from cultivating 4 key virtues: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These principles serve as a guide for how we think, act, and respond to life's challenges, helping us build resilience and inner peace. Wisdom is the foundation of Stoic virtue. It's about understanding what is truly important in life and making decisions based on reason rather than impulse. When we act with wisdom, we see situations clearly, free from the distortions of fear or desire. This clarity allows us to navigate challenges with confidence and composure, knowing that we're grounded in what truly matters. Courage, in the Stoic sense, isn't just about physical bravery. It's the strength to face difficult emotions, stand up for what's right, and persevere through adversity. Courage means acknowledging our fears but not letting them control us. It's about taking action even when it's uncomfortable, trusting that doing the right thing will ultimately lead to emotional strength and growth. Justice is the virtue of fairness and kindness toward others. The Stoics believed that we're all connected, and treating others with respect and compassion is essential for our own well-being. When we act justly, we contribute to a sense of harmony in our relationships and communities. This not only strengthens our emotional resilience but also fosters a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. Temperance, the final virtue, is about self-control and moderation. It's the ability to resist excess and stay balanced, whether in our desires, emotions, or actions. Temperance helps us avoid the pitfalls of overindulgence or impulsive behavior, allowing us to maintain clarity and focus even in the face of temptation or stress. Living by these virtues isn't always easy, but it's deeply rewarding. Each one reinforces the others, creating a framework for emotional strength that stands the test of time. When we strive to be wise, courageous, just, and temperate, we not only improve our own lives but also inspire those around us. As we move forward, we'll explore how to apply these virtues in everyday situations, turning abstract principles into actionable steps. For now, consider this: which of these virtues resonates most with you? How can you begin to embody it more fully in your daily life? By focusing on even one of these principles, you'll take a meaningful step toward building emotional resilience and living a life of purpose. Now that we've explored the 4 Stoic virtues, let's dive into how we can bring them to life in our daily routines. Applying these principles doesn't require grand gestures. It's about small, intentional actions that align with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Let's break it down. Start with wisdom. Each day, take a moment to pause before making decisions. Ask yourself, is this choice guided by reason, or am I reacting out of fear or desire? For example, if you're tempted to lash out in frustration, wisdom reminds you to step back, assess the situation calmly, and respond thoughtfully. This simple practice can transform how you handle conflicts and challenges. Courage shows up in the moments when we choose to act despite discomfort. Maybe it's having that difficult conversation you've been avoiding or standing up for someone who's being treated unfairly. Courage doesn't mean you won't feel fear, it means you act anyway. Think of it as a muscle you strengthen over time. Each time you face a fear or take a stand, you build emotional resilience. Justice is about fairness and kindness in your interactions. It could be as simple as listening to someone without judgment or making a decision that benefits the greater good, even if it's inconvenient for you. For instance, if you're in a position of leadership, justice might mean ensuring everyone's voice is heard, not just the loudest ones. By practicing fairness, you create a ripple effect of trust and respect in your relationships. Finally, temperance is the art of balance. It's about knowing when to say no and when to step back. Maybe it's resisting the urge to overindulge in something that feels good in the moment but harms you in the long run, like scrolling endlessly on your phone or overeating. Temperance helps you stay grounded so you can make choices that align with your values rather than fleeting impulses. The beauty of these virtues is that they're interconnected. When you practice wisdom, you're more likely to act with courage. When you act justly, you strengthen your temperance, and as you cultivate temperance, you create space for wisdom to flourish. It's a cycle that builds emotional strength over time. So how can you start today? Pick one virtue and focus on it for a week. Notice how it shows up in your life and how it influences your actions. Over time, these small steps will add up, helping you live a life of purpose and resilience. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Each day is a new opportunity to grow. Now, let's shift our focus to a powerful Stoic practice that can transform how we navigate life's challenges. Avoiding complaints. Stoicism teaches us that complaining is not only unproductive but also a barrier to emotional strength. When we complain, we give away our power, focusing on what's wrong instead of what we can do to improve the situation. The Stoics believed that life's difficulties are inevitable, but how we respond to them is entirely within our control. By choosing not to complain, we take responsibility for our circumstances and reclaim our ability to act with purpose and resilience. Think about it this way: complaining often stems from a sense of helplessness or frustration. But Stoicism reminds us that while we can't always control what happens to us, we can always control how we interpret and respond to it. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, complaining won't make the cars move faster. Instead, you can use that time to listen to an audiobook, reflect on your day, or simply practice patience. This shift in mindset turns a frustrating situation into an opportunity for growth. Avoiding complaints also helps us build mental toughness. When we stop focusing on what's wrong, we free up energy to focus on solutions. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or pretending everything is perfect. It means approaching challenges with a constructive attitude, asking, "What can I do about this?" rather than, "Why is this happening to me?" This proactive approach not only reduces stress but also strengthens our ability to handle future obstacles with confidence. So how can you start practicing this lesson? Begin by noticing when you're tempted to complain. Pause and ask yourself, is this complaint helping me or holding me back? If it's the latter, reframe your thoughts. Instead of saying, "This is unfair," try, "What can I learn from this?" Over time, this habit will help you cultivate a mindset of resilience and empowerment, turning challenges into stepping stones for growth. As we move forward, let's explore how this mindset connects to the next Stoic lesson: breaking the habit of complaining and replacing it with actionable solutions. By doing so, we not only strengthen our emotional resilience but also create a more positive and purposeful way of living. Now, let's take a closer look at how we can actively break the habit of complaining and replace it with more constructive habits. One effective technique is to reframe your thoughts. When you catch yourself about to complain, pause and ask, "What's another way to look at this situation?" For instance, instead of thinking, "This traffic is ruining my day," you might say, "This is a chance to practice patience and enjoy some quiet time." Reframing shifts your focus from what's wrong to what's possible, helping you regain control over your emotions. Another powerful strategy is to focus on solutions rather than problems. Complaints often arise when we feel stuck or powerless, but by asking, "What can I do about this?" you shift your energy toward action. For example, if you're frustrated with a work project, instead of venting about how difficult it is, brainstorm ways to simplify the task or seek help from a colleague. This proactive approach not only reduces frustration but also empowers you to take meaningful steps forward. Journaling can also be a valuable tool in breaking the complaining habit. At the end of each day, write down any complaints that came to mind, then challenge yourself to find a positive angle or a solution for each one. Over time, this practice trains your brain to default to constructive thinking rather than negativity. It's like building a mental muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. Finally, surround yourself with people who embody a solution-oriented mindset. The Stoics believed that the company we keep influences our thoughts and behaviors. If you spend time with individuals who focus on solving problems rather than dwelling on them, their attitude will naturally rub off on you. This doesn't mean avoiding those who are struggling. It means seeking out those who inspire you to grow and approach challenges with resilience. By practicing these techniques, you'll gradually replace the habit of complaining with a mindset of empowerment and action. This shift not only strengthens your emotional resilience but also transforms how you experience life's challenges. As we move forward, let's explore how this proactive approach connects to the next Stoic lesson, seeking wisdom over fleeting pleasures, and how this pursuit can deepen your emotional strength even further. Now, let's turn our attention to a profound Stoic principle that challenges the way we often think about happiness and fulfillment. The 13th lesson is about seeking wisdom, not pleasure. The Stoics believed that true contentment doesn't come from chasing temporary joys or external rewards, but from cultivating wisdom and focusing on self-improvement. While pleasures may feel good in the moment, they are fleeting and often leave us wanting more. Wisdom, on the other hand, provides lasting satisfaction and a deeper sense of purpose. Think about it this way: when you indulge in a momentary pleasure like eating your favorite dessert or buying something new, the joy it brings is short-lived. Once the experience is over, you're left searching for the next thing to make you happy. But when you invest in wisdom, whether through learning, reflection, or personal growth, you build something enduring. You develop a stronger understanding of yourself and the world, which helps you navigate life's challenges with clarity and resilience. The Stoics emphasize that wisdom isn't just about accumulating knowledge, it's about applying that knowledge to live a virtuous and meaningful life. For example, instead of spending hours scrolling through social media for a quick dopamine hit, you could spend that time reading a book that expands your perspective or engaging in a conversation that challenges your thinking. These activities may not provide instant gratification, but they contribute to your long-term growth and emotional strength. One practical way to seek wisdom is to prioritize learning in your daily life. This doesn't mean you have to enroll in formal education or spend hours studying. It could be as simple as setting aside time each day to reflect on your experiences, ask questions, and seek answers. The Stoics were avid learners, and they believed that every situation, whether good or bad, offered an opportunity to gain insight. By adopting this mindset, you can transform even the most mundane moments into lessons that enrich your life. Another key aspect of seeking wisdom is embracing discomfort. Growth often requires stepping outside your comfort zone and facing challenges head-on. The Stoics understood that true wisdom comes from enduring difficulties and learning from them. For instance, instead of avoiding a difficult conversation, approach it with curiosity and a willingness to understand the other person's perspective. These experiences, though uncomfortable, help you develop emotional resilience and a deeper understanding of human nature. Ultimately, the pursuit of wisdom is a lifelong journey. It's not about reaching a destination, but about continually striving to become the best version of yourself. By prioritizing wisdom over fleeting pleasures, you align your actions with your values and create a foundation for lasting fulfillment. As we move forward, we'll explore how this pursuit connects to the next Stoic lesson, practicing empathy and understanding others' perspectives, which further strengthens your emotional resilience and deepens your relationships. Now, let's take a closer look at how you can actively pursue wisdom in your everyday life. One of the most straightforward ways to seek wisdom is through reading. Philosophy, in particular, offers timeless insights into human nature, ethics, and the art of living well. Books by Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus are excellent starting points, but don't limit yourself. Explore works from other traditions and perspectives as well. The goal isn't just to absorb information, but to reflect on how these ideas apply to your own life. Set aside even a few minutes each day to read and ponder what you've learned. Over time, this habit will deepen your understanding and help you make wiser decisions. Another powerful way to cultivate wisdom is through meaningful conversations. Engaging with others who challenge your thinking or share different viewpoints can broaden your perspective and sharpen your reasoning. Seek out people who inspire you, whether they're friends, mentors, or even strangers in online forums. Ask thoughtful questions, listen actively, and be open to changing your mind. These exchanges not only expand your knowledge but also teach you the value of humility and curiosity, which are essential traits for anyone seeking wisdom. Learning new skills is another practical way to pursue wisdom. When you step outside your comfort zone and take on a challenge, you're forced to think creatively, solve problems, and adapt to new situations. Whether it's learning a language, picking up a musical instrument, or mastering a craft, the process of acquiring a skill teaches you discipline, patience, and resilience. These qualities are not only useful in themselves but also contribute to your overall growth as a person. Plus, the confidence you gain from overcoming obstacles can inspire you to tackle even bigger challenges in the future. Reflection is another key component of seeking wisdom. At the end of each day, take a few moments to review your experiences. What went well? What could you have done differently? What lessons can you take away? Journaling is a great tool for this, as it allows you to organize your thoughts and track your progress over time. The Stoics were strong advocates of daily reflection, believing that it helps us learn from our mistakes and align our actions with our values. Finally, don't underestimate the value of curiosity. Approach life with a sense of wonder and a desire to understand how things work. Ask questions, explore new interests, and embrace the unknown. Wisdom isn't just about having all the answers, it's about being willing to ask the right questions and remain open to learning. By cultivating curiosity, you'll find that even the most ordinary moments can become opportunities for growth. As we move forward, we'll explore how these practices connect to the next Stoic lesson, practicing empathy and understanding others' perspectives. This skill not only strengthens your emotional resilience but also deepens your relationships, creating a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Now, let's turn our attention to a lesson that bridges the gap between personal growth and meaningful connections with others, practicing empathy. Stoicism, often misunderstood as a philosophy of emotional detachment, actually places great emphasis on understanding and connecting with others. At its core, empathy is about stepping into someone else's shoes, seeing the world through their eyes, and recognizing their emotions and experiences as valid. This practice not only strengthens your relationships, but also helps you maintain emotional balance by fostering compassion and reducing judgment. The Stoics believed that every person is part of a larger whole, interconnected by shared humanity. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, often reminded himself to approach others with kindness and understanding, even when their actions seemed frustrating or misguided. He recognized that people act based on their own perceptions and experiences, which are often shaped by circumstances beyond their control. By practicing empathy, you can cultivate a deeper sense of connection and reduce the emotional friction that comes from misunderstanding or conflict. So, how can you start practicing empathy in your daily life? One effective way is through active listening. When someone shares their thoughts or feelings with you, focus entirely on what they're saying without interrupting or planning your response. Pay attention to their tone, body language, and the emotions behind their words. This simple act of presence can make the other person feel heard and valued, which in turn strengthens your bond with them. It also helps you gain insight into their perspective, allowing you to respond with greater understanding and compassion. Another powerful exercise is to imagine yourself in someone else's situation. When you encounter a person who seems difficult or whose actions confuse you, take a moment to consider what might be driving their behavior. Are they under stress? Are they dealing with challenges you might not be aware of? By shifting your focus from judgment to curiosity, you can replace frustration with empathy, creating space for more constructive interactions. This doesn't mean you have to agree with their actions, but understanding their motivations can help you respond with patience and clarity. Empathy also involves recognizing the shared humanity in everyone, even those who seem very different from you. The Stoics taught that all people are driven by a desire for happiness and fulfillment, even if their methods of pursuing these goals are flawed. By reminding yourself of this common ground, you can approach others with a sense of solidarity rather than division. This mindset not only fosters compassion but also helps you navigate conflicts with greater emotional resilience. As we wrap up this lesson, remember that empathy is a skill that grows with practice. Start small, perhaps by listening more attentively to a friend or reflecting on a recent interaction where you could have been more understanding. Over time, these efforts will deepen your emotional intelligence and enrich your relationships, creating a more harmonious and fulfilling life. And as we move forward, we'll explore how these principles of empathy and understanding tie into the broader Stoic goal of living a virtuous and emotionally resilient life. Now that we've explored the importance of empathy and how it connects us to others, let's dive into some practical exercises to help you strengthen this skill in your daily life. One of the simplest yet most powerful ways to practice empathy is through active listening. This means giving your full attention to the person speaking, without interrupting or letting your mind wander to what you'll say next. Try this the next time someone shares something with you. Focus on their words, tone, and body language. Notice the emotions behind what they're saying. By truly listening, you'll not only make the other person feel valued, but also gain a deeper understanding of their perspective. Another effective exercise is to imagine yourself in someone else's situation. Let's say you encounter a coworker who seems irritable or a friend who cancels plans last minute. Instead of jumping to conclusions, take a moment to consider what might be going on in their life. Are they dealing with stress, exhaustion, or personal challenges? By putting yourself in their shoes, you can replace frustration with understanding. This doesn't mean you have to excuse their behavior, but it allows you to respond with patience and compassion rather than judgment. You can also practice empathy by reflecting on your own experiences. Think about a time when you felt misunderstood or overwhelmed. How did it feel? What did you wish others had done to support you? By recalling these moments, you can better relate to others when they're in similar situations. This exercise helps you connect with the universal emotions we all experience, making it easier to approach others with kindness and understanding. Another way to build empathy is through journaling. At the end of each day, write about an interaction where you could have been more empathetic. What did you notice about the other person's emotions? How could you have responded differently? This reflection helps you become more aware of your reactions and encourages you to approach future situations with greater compassion. Over time, this practice will help you develop a habit of empathy, making it a natural part of how you engage with others. Finally, consider engaging in acts of kindness that require you to step outside your comfort zone. Volunteer for a cause you care about, or simply offer help to someone in need without expecting anything in return. These actions not only benefit others but also deepen your ability to connect with people from different walks of life. By actively seeking out opportunities to understand and support others, you'll strengthen your empathy muscles and enrich your emotional resilience. As you incorporate these exercises into your routine, remember that empathy is a skill that grows with practice. Start small, and over time, you'll notice a shift in how you relate to others and how you navigate emotional challenges. With these tools, you're not only building stronger relationships but also cultivating a more compassionate and balanced way of living. And as we move forward, we'll explore how these principles of empathy and understanding tie into the broader Stoic goal of living a virtuous and emotionally resilient life. As we wrap up our journey through these 25 Stoic lessons, it's clear that each one offers a unique tool for building emotional strength and resilience. From focusing on what you can control to practicing empathy and gratitude, these principles work together to create a foundation for a more balanced and fulfilling life. Stoicism isn't just about enduring hardships, it's about thriving through them, finding meaning in challenges, and cultivating a mindset that transforms obstacles into opportunities. By applying these lessons, you're not just learning philosophy, you're equipping yourself with practical strategies to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and clarity. Whether it's through journaling, mindfulness, or reframing challenges, each step you take brings you closer to emotional mastery. Remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Start small, stay consistent, and watch how these practices begin to shape your perspective and your life. If you found value in these lessons, I encourage you to take the next step. Try incorporating one or two of these practices into your daily routine and observe the changes they bring. Share your experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear how Stoicism is helping you grow. And if you're eager to dive deeper into this philosophy, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Together, let's continue exploring the timeless wisdom of Stoicism and building lives of purpose, resilience, and emotional strength. Thank you for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you in the next video.